Russell Martin finds himself at the centre of intense scrutiny once again, with growing unrest among the Rangers support spilling over in recent days. What was already a challenging start to the season has now ignited into full-scale frustration, with fans voicing their concerns louder than ever. As pressure mounts on the manager, questions are being asked about his future and the direction of the club under his leadership. In today's video, we have a massive update on the Russell Martin situation to share. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Rangers have agreed a deal with Girona to sign Bojan Miovski. RFC News reported on Wednesday that the club had opened talks over a move for the 26-year-old, who, the La Liga side, are prepared to let go 1 year after his arrival from Aberdeen. RFC News understands that the deal is in the region of £2.6 million, with the potential for the fee to rise to above £4 million with add-ons. Rangers are in the market for a striker after the club agreed a deal with Lille for Hamza Igerman. The Moroccan striker refused to come off the bench during Saturday's 1-1 draw with St Mirren and didn't travel to Belgium for last night's embarrassing exit in the Champions League. Igerman, 22, will now fly to France to seal a move to Lille, worth $10.4 million just over a year on from moving to Ibrox. Miovski has been high on the club's list of options all summer, with interest growing in recent weeks, owing to growing uncertainty over the futures of Cyril Dessas and Igerman. The club rejected an offer for Dessas from AEK Athens earlier this summer, and had set a price tag through to be in the region £5 million on the forward. There is an expectation that their resolve could be tested for the 30-year-old in the window's final days, with Dessas entering the final year of his contract next summer. Former Aberdeen striker Miovski impressed over a 2-season spell in Scotland, and Rangers believe they'll be able to secure the forward for a much lower price than what Girona paid last summer. The club are expected to remain active in the final days of the transfer window, following a humiliating defeat in Belgium last night, and as reported here first, the club remain interested in Everton forward Youssef Chermiti, with more activity on the striker front possible before Monday's deadline. Now, in a huge Russell Martin update, Russell Martin retains the support of the Ibrox board for now, and is set to be in the dugout for the Old Firm showdown with Celtic. RFC News understands Martin's position as head coach is not under consideration in the immediate aftermath of the Champions League defeat to Club Brugge. Martin insisted on Wednesday night that he did not fear for his future as supporters voiced their anger at the collapse in Belgium. Chants of "Martin, Martin, get to F" were heard in the away end as Bruges ran riot and stormed to a 9-1 aggregate victory in the playoff round tie. Rangers will discover their opponents in the Europa League when the draw is made on Friday. Martin is now attempting to regroup ahead of the first derby of the campaign this weekend. Defeat for Rangers would leave them 9 points adrift in the Premiership title race and cast further doubts over his long-term future just weeks into his reign. It is understood that members of the American ownership group will be at Ibrox this weekend as Martin looks for his first league win at the 4th attempt, following the draws with Motherwell, St Mirren and Dundee. Speaking on Wednesday night, the head coach insisted he understood the anger from a support that has called for him to be removed from office at Ibrox. No, Martin said when asked if he had concerns over his position. I think we had such a tough task tonight. The most hurtful thing is we make it so tough for ourselves. We did last Tuesday, we did tonight. So much self-inflicted pain. And then, because we're not strong enough as a group yet, our response to a bit of disappointment is just so poor. So poor. So I understand the fans' frustration. I understand the disappointment. I understand their anger because they love this club. And they want to see a team that they're proud of. Even with 10 men, there wasn't enough to be proud about tonight. I'm really proud of Tav. The way he came on, it's been disappointing for him not to play. And he showed leadership tonight during the game, after the game. He's desperate to do well for this club and for us. I felt that after the game, and I felt that during the game. He, more than anyone, has a right to be disappointed, frustrated at the moment. But I think now we're going to need a leadership for sure throughout the whole group. And nothing I say now will make anyone feel any better or change anyone's opinion. Now it's about Sunday and making sure that we respond in that way by putting in a performance that they can be proud of and makes us win the game. For now, Russell Martin remains in place, but the upcoming Old Firm clash feels like a defining moment in his early tenure. With board members watching closely and the fans' patience stretched to breaking point, Sunday's result could set the tone for the rest of his reign. Anything less than a performance of grit and conviction risks deepening the crisis at Ibrox before his Rangers career has truly begun. In other news, frustrated Findlay Curtis couldn't contain his emotions as he vented his anger after Rangers' humiliating Champions League defeat to Club Brugge. The 18-year-old has been an emerging talent in the Rangers' first team this season, having scored 3 goals in 7 appearances under Russell Martin. Curtis was thrown on for Rangers at the start of the second half as he replaced JD Gassama with Nico Raskin and Mohamed Diomande, introduced for Joe Rothwell and Thelo Arsgaard respectively in a triple change. Rangers would concede just 1 goal in the second period, with the match already long over with Brugge 5-0 up before the break. The Ibrox side had been down to 10 men after 8 minutes when Max Aarons hauled down Christos Solis as he looked to race clean through on goal. Nicolo Trizoldi had opened the scoring for Brugge after 5 minutes before Hans Vanaken doubled the lead with a header on 32 minutes. In a total capitulation, Rangers then conceded 3 more goals in the final 4 minutes of the first half. Joaquin Seys netted after 41 minutes and added his second, Brugge's fourth, of the night after 45 minutes. In first half stoppage time, Alexander Stankovic made it 5. Zoli scored the only goal of the second half to see Brugge claim a 6-0 triumph on the night, with a 9-1 aggregate scoreline in the Champions League playoff. Come the final whistle, Rangers players were out on their feet. Curtis, though, was spotted venting his anger as he instantly fell to his knees in the aftermath of the loss and pounded at the turf in frustration over the embarrassing loss. The talented teenager then covered his face with his shirt as he experienced his most challenging evening as a first-team player for the club. After composing himself, Curtis was one of the first Rangers players to acknowledge the travelling supporters following the heavy loss in Belgium. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.